This is ABC7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
The last time I was here, I was 8 years old. I'm 43 now, so I wanted to make sure that, I came out one more time with the kids and, see it for the last time.
It entertained audiences young and old alike for nearly 150 years. Now the greatest show on earth has given its final curtain call. The Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus is known around the world but holds a special place in the hearts of us here on the Suncoast. Tonight we'll speak with the alumni of the show about what it means and what the future may bring for those in the circus arts. Good evening, everyone. I'm Alan Conan. Welcome to ABC 7 at 7. We'll have reaction on the end of the Ringling Circus coming up at first, our top 7 stories at 7. And we begin tonight with the latest on the aftermath of the bomb blast that killed 22 people and injured 59 others in Manchester, the second largest city in Great Britain. The explosion killed and injured mostly children and teenagers just after singer Ariana Grande finished her concert. Among the victims, the youngest, an 8-year-old girl. Today, a vigil was held in Manchester for the victims. In London, Queen Elizabeth stepped out of Buckingham Palace for a moment of silence, remembering those who died. Here in Florida, Governor Rick Scott began his cabinet meeting with a moment of silence.
My heart goes out to everybody that was impacted by this. I remember back to the Pulse terrorist attack and those 49 lives that were lost, and talking to those families, and you hope this, you're just sorry that these things happen. So I hope this doesn't happen again anywhere in the world.
British police are identifying the bomber as 22-year-old Salman al-Bidi. They are still trying to determine whether he acted alone. Here in Sarasota, the county is reworking its quality of life ordinance to address the problem of homelessness. The draft sets policies for issues including outdoor lodging in public spaces and panhandling. Sarasota's Director of Homeless Services says it is not enough to adjust policies for policing the homeless. The city also needs to have policies for providing basic services.
In order to be able to have those ordinances, you need a certain amount of capacity of emergency shelters so that you don't engage individuals who are living in that situation with the only option being the criminal justice system.
The County Commission will consider the ordinance after it receives approval from community groups which work with the homeless. Sarasota County is responding to an alarming number of drownings here on the Suncoast. At least 6 people have drowned so far this year in the area, and it could get worse. According to Safe Kids Worldwide, 2/3 of fatal drownings occur between May and August. It's also the leading cause of death for kids ages 1 to 4. Experts say even if your child knows how to swim, they could still be at risk.
Another misconception that parents may have is, oh, my child did swim lessons, they can swim, I don't have to watch them anymore. The opposite is the truth. Children who are 10, 11 can still bump their head.
Last year, 10 people drowned here on the Suncoast. Sarasota City Child Protection Center is receiving $10,000 from the Jerome Mildred Paddock Foundation. The nonprofit center focuses on prevention, intervention, and treatment of child abuse. It costs medical teams at the center $500 to do an exam on an abuse victim. The new grant money will pay for 20 exams. If you or someone you know has been the victim of abuse, you can contact the center through its website or the number on your screen. Manatee County Area Transportation, or MCAT, is looking for new drivers to fill shortages. Transit officials are asking county commissioners to approve hiring 16 full-time bus operators. Right now, 2 drivers are working double shifts every day to cover routes. Some routes have been cut or reduced in frequency because of the shortage. If approved, new drivers could be on the road by the fall. An update now on a massive wildfire in southwest Florida that destroyed 5 buildings. Investigators now know how it started, and they are blaming a lawnmower for the 7,500-acre fire. Back in April, investigators say a man in the Naples area was mowing his lawn when he saw smoke. He called 911 and tried to put it out with a fire extinguisher, but couldn't. Investigators say the lawnmower was in good condition but could have sparked a fire when it hit a rock. The The owner isn't facing charges. Hurricane season begins a little more than a week from now, and Florida's catastrophe fund is stronger than it has ever been. $17.6 billion are available, exceeding the maximum liability amount, but state officials may bolster it even more with a $1 billion insurance purchase. Members of Governor Scott's cabinet call it a wise investment.
If we had a recurrence of a storm like Matthew and it didn't jog offshore and we had huge losses, you would feel awfully good having the risk transfer in place.
Hurricane Hermine was the first major storm to make landfall in Florida since 2005. Hurricane Matthew narrowly grazed Florida, but it brought widespread flooding to coastal states and to the north. And another reminder, Bob, your hurricane special is coming up.
That's right, June 1st, 7 o'clock right here on ABC7. If you don't catch it, you'll see it on our other formats as well, like our Facebook page, as well as mysuncoast.com with links there to watch it. So, again, it's fast approaching. It's not going to be hurricane force, but it'll be tropical storm force near the Suncoast tomorrow as a system develops in the Gulf of Mexico. This system will bring a chance for showers our way, and some of those storms could be rather heavy, especially after 5 o'clock in the afternoon. You know, last year we had Hermine, which wasn't a major hurricane, but it was a hurricane nonetheless, the first one to have an impact on the Sunshine State since 2005. And then the major hurricane, Matthew, obviously grazing the East Coast. Let's hope we don't have any of that going on here, but we could use a little tropical disturbance to bring us some rainfall, much needed rainfall. Right now the advisories are out there. Coastal flood watch in effect for the coastal waters from Inglewood northward all the way through Manatee County. We're going to see tides running about 2 feet above average, especially tomorrow afternoon. Small craft advisory in effect until Wednesday, I should say Thursday morning at 5 a.m. and a rip current advisory for area beaches and waterways there along the coast. Now, rainfall forecast looks rather promising as we move through time, especially Wednesday evening and Thursday morning, with anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of rain anticipated across a large area of west central Florida, and some areas getting even 3 to 4 inches. And you'll notice that most of the peninsula is covered up in this, and that's a good thing. It's not scattered.
Which means my son's baseball final is delayed in Tallahassee until next Friday. And let's give a shout out to the Sarasota Sailors baseball team, Clyde Metcalf. They're playing there for the regional finals right now, and if they win, they go to the state championship series next week in Fort Myers.
They always seem to do well, don't they? They're pretty good.
Absolutely. Great coaching. Right. Thanks a lot, Bob. And still to come, leaving behind the greatest show on earth with the final performance over, what will be the legacy of the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus, and what does it mean to the people who have dedicated their lives to the circus arts? The story when we return.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her so I could call and thank them. And she's doing fine. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast. Life Alert saves a person from a catastrophe every 10 minutes.
Life Alert is a lifesaver. If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-962-4112. That's 1-800-962-4112. Call now, 1-800-962-4112. For a free brochure, call 1-800-962-4112.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru is rated the safest and most dependable automotive brand, and all Subaru models with eyesight are a 2017 IIHS Top Safety Pick. Right now, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV, a new Subaru Forester, for just $209 a month, or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
When you want to get away from it all, to a place where you can do everything, or nothing at all, surrounded by natural beauty and all the modern amenities you might desire, then you'll want to be here at the Wanna Be Inn. on the beautiful shores of Manasota Key, Florida. To plan your escape, log on to wannabein.com.
Today, the air is perfect. Inside. Expect more from your cooling and heating. Daikin.
It was the greatest show on earth until Sunday. Ringling Brothers and Barnum & Bailey Circus gives its final curtain call in New York. Here in Sarasota, we know a thing or two about the circus. The Ringling name is on schools, businesses, and even bridges. ABC7's Adam Cellini watched the last performance of the circus with people who have dedicated their lives to the big top here on the Suncoast.
Over 1,000 miles from Uniondale, New York, in a Sarasota club founded and run by the people who helped build Ringling Brothers Barnum & Bailey Circus, Jackie LeClaire watches something he never imagined could happen in his lifetime, the show's final performance.
It's very difficult. I try not to think about it. I hope I don't cry tonight.
Show Folks of Sarasota is a club dedicated to the long, rich history between Sarasota and the circus. LeClaire himself was raised by Ringling Brothers with 2 performer parents and a career as a clown that began in 1944.
It's like I guess having an old girlfriend or anybody that's close in your life and to lose them.
Chairman and CEO of Feld Entertainment.
The crowd letting out a few groans as Feld Entertainment CEO Kenneth Feld appeared for a prologue for the show. Feld has blamed the decision to end the circus on declining ticket sales and pressure from animal rights groups.
It's unfortunate, business-wise, they didn't have a choice, but it is very unfortunate for 1,000 people that work with the circus. They're obviously looking for jobs.
But where one door closes, another opens, like at Sailor Circus, where local teens continue to perform dazzling and daring acts passed down from Ringling alum like Dolly Jacobs and Pedro Reyes.
You say Ringling, you say Sarasota. You say Sarasota, you say Ringling, you say circus. So there's no chance of the legacy of circus ever fading in Sarasota.
And that's been the message since that shocking announcement in January, that as long as the stories and skills are passed down, the show will always go on.
The mark of the circus will always be on Sarasota, and I hope that the legacy continues for people to enjoy.
Adam Cellini, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
What does the future hold for the circus and performers here on the Suncoast? We'll find out with a group of some of the most famous Ringling Circus alumni. In a moment, we will take it to the trapezoid.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
Download ABC7's official Suncoast weather app onto all your devices so you can stay informed wherever you go. With our full-featured weather app, you get weather alerts, interactive radar maps, current conditions, 10-day forecasts, and weather video from ABC7, all at your fingertips. And it's free. The ABC7 official Suncoast weather app, sponsored by 1 Hour Air. Just search Suncoast WX in the App Store and download yours today.
This is a special health alert for seniors suffering with joint pain. If you have Medicare insurance, you may qualify for high-quality support braces at little or no cost.
I'm thrilled with my knee braces.
Now, there is a simple and proven solution for seniors to get out of pain with state-of-the-art support braces.
I barely feel any pain at all.
Braces for your knees and back, as well as your shoulders and ankles, too.
I'm so happy with the quality of these braces.
Call now, and you could qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost.
I can play ball again, and it doesn't hurt.
And because of my Medicare coverage, it costs me next to nothing.
So call now.
And because I have this red, white, and blue Medicare card, my braces have cost me just about nothing.
It's true. You may get a knee, back, shoulder, and ankle brace at little or no cost.
They qualified me for 2 knee braces and a back brace.
If you have knee or back pain, give them a call. They can help.
1-800-476-8967. 1-800-476-8967.
It's no small wonder anybody loves it all.
I just love art that moves me.
No small.
I mean, really moves me.
Wow.
Sunset Fiat of Sarasota presents No Small Wonder. High performance style. Let the art of Fiat move you.
There's been so much going on in the news this week. The end of an era somehow took a back seat. After 146 years, the greatest show on earth is no more. The last performance Sunday night on Long Island in New York. The circus, a victim of declining ticket sales. The circus and its performers never failed to entertain, but times have changed and thoughts about the use of elephants and other animals took a toll on the popularity of the Ringling Brothers Circus. The New York Times called the greatest show on earth an iconic piece of Americana. And joining us for more are Erwin Urias, whose family performed with Ringling Brothers for 3 generations using the Globe of Death, not the trapezoid.
That's right.
Olga Sanina, an acrobat and daredevil, her and her sister also performed with Ringling Brothers, and one of the greatest Ringling best-known alumni, the daredevil extraordinaire himself, Bello Knock. I am honored to have all three of you.
Thank you for having us.
On this. You know, I want to get to what is the future, but let's talk about Ringling Brothers right now, because I would imagine watching the performance on Sunday night, I mean, what were your emotions, Bello?
I flew up there and I watched 3 shows that day and just had to see it, to witness it. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't believe it. You know, some people would say it was like a funeral or a passing or it was going away. I looked at it a little bit different. I looked at almost like a celebration of life. When you look at all the positive that came out of Ringling Brothers. Coming out of circus is a whole nother thing, because let's, making it clear, the circus is not going away. Ringling Brothers closed its doors after 146 years. But I looked at it as a celebration of life. Over 1 billion people attended Ringling Brothers just in the 50 years that the Feld family owned Ringling Brothers. How many people met, dated, and started lives? How many people got opportunities and created and launched careers? Myself, theirs, your family, all the people over the generations. So I looked at it as a celebration of life.
Olga, you were smiling when Bello was saying that. How difficult has it been for you between now and the time when Feld first announced that they were going to close the circus?
It's been pretty difficult, and my sister is on the blue unit that just closed the doors on Sunday, and it was difficult watching it live on Facebook. That's what I did. Yeah. And tears, of course, but it was hard to believe, like over the 2 months or 3 months that they announced, it was hard to believe that it's actually happening. Every time it's like, maybe it's not.
Hey, Erwin, did you ever think to yourself, I mean, this should not have happened. Ringling Brothers should have found another way?
Well, I don't think, because obviously we don't all know the circumstances that were behind it. It was a decision, obviously, that wasn't taken lightly, that the Feld family made. Again, like Bello said, this is something that's been going on for 146 years, 50 years of the Feld family producing an incredible show. My family had an incredible opportunity to be on there for spanning 5 decades. So it was, like Olga said, difficult just to see it close, the Ringling name closing down. Sad because it was a part of, again, Americana that was closing down, but circus is still so much alive. So even though that part is a little saddened, we're still continuing on doing our performance.
Well, let me ask you all this, and any of you could answer this question, but what you hear is that, number one, the use of the animals became controversial, but do you think that the debate over that kind of gave short shrift to the incredible performers like yourselves and others who delighted the audience, who saw them? It wasn't all about the animals anyway.
Do you mind if I'll jump in real quick and go? I think the loudest noise came from the smallest group of people that wanted to change the way any one of us thought how we could live our lives. So it was a small group of people that made a whole lot of noise, and it affected, and that's a dangerous place when they would false accuse. So I never worked with animals and never had animals. I had no skin in the game. I never saw not one inkling of any mistreatment. In fact, it was the utmost care. So that really hurts, that even that they get the credit for that. So it's a tough thing because, you know, Ringling Brothers was, at one point, was everything for everybody. And now there's so many different options of entertainment that I think it, you know, that and the antiquated touring system.
What do you mean by that?
A mile-long train, 300 people. It's a town without a zip code. So 2 different shows, 2 mile-long trains. Touring, the wagons, the trunks that go with it, and plus the large semis. Any big touring concert out there, big touring show, might be 18 to 24 semis. Ringling Brothers had 18 semis on the road, 30 RV trailers, the mile-long train, plus the flights, plus the, I mean, it just was so big, they had to outdo each other every year.
That's what I want to get to in terms of how the circus will evolve and what has to change in order for circuses to be successful. We are just getting started, and we'll pick up our discussion right after we get a check on the weather, so stay with us.
The Alfa Romeo Quadrifoglio charmed us all and crippled the competition. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
My name is Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251, 800-628-1251.
Alfa Romeo got a lot right with the Giulia, but the handling alone is sufficient reason to get one. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Our discussion of the end of the Ringling Brothers Circus continues in a moment, but right now let's get a check on our forecast from Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrington.
Well, we had a lot of clouds today, but not much rainfall. Looking out from the Van Wezel webcam, you can see those clouds still around, and looks as though not much of a chance for rain here the next couple of hours. Later on tonight, there's a chance for 1 or 2 developing in the Gulf of Mexico, moving onshore. These are the ones that we're not too concerned about as far as severe weather goes. Tomorrow night at this time, a different story altogether. We could be dealing with severe thunderstorms and even the potential for some isolated tornadoes, some damaging winds, and small hail. That begins tomorrow, mainly just after 5, 6 o'clock in the evening, continuing throughout the evening and into the early morning hours on Thursday. But right now, most of the rain well east, pushing off to the northeast right now. There are some showers developing here in the Gulf, but they're way off there over 150 miles to the west of us. One lone shower just to the northeast of Venice right now. The big story is a couple of systems. Right now, one producing rough weather over South Georgia. There's been some tornado reports there, also some trees down in southeast Georgia. And then another system with some energy here will kind of meet up in the Gulf on Wednesday and eventually sweep this whole system through as a cold front, which will cool us down somewhat. We'll look for some cooler temperatures to begin midday on Thursday and stick around through Friday with a warm-up back for the weekend. This energy here looks like will pass to the north of us generally. Now, there's a slight chance for some overnight showers, but it should not be all that rough. The potential for severe weather exists from late Wednesday through Thursday morning. We're in that slight chance category right now, so that potential is there at about 30% for some of these storms to turn severe, meaning winds up to possibly as high as 60 miles an hour with some of the gusts tomorrow evening. 82 right now. The dew point is at 72. The winds are strong out of the south-southwest. And that's another thing. It will be a very windy Wednesday. We're talking small craft advisories, rip current advisory. On top of that, a lake wind advisory and a coastal flood advisory in effect for area beaches. 88 degrees the high today. 87 is the normal, so we were pretty close to that. And no rainfall to report officially today, but our monthly total is over 4.5 inches with the rain we saw over the weekend, basically. And still, though, we could use about 5 inches to catch up with our yearly average being below that. Now, winds out of the west, southwest throughout the day on Wednesday. We're talking sustained up to near 20 to 25 miles an hour, gusts as high as 30. And then the actual storm system itself will blow on through sometime after 7 o'clock, basically, with showers and storms scattered about up until 9, and then they'll redevelop as the actual cold front moves through in the early morning hours on Thursday. And that's going to be the case again as we move on through. Now, the satellite and radar imagery showing a couple of systems, one right there over parts of the upper Mississippi Valley, another one moving through the mid-Atlantic coast states. Again, the two kind of meeting and joining up right here, bringing us a good chance for some storms tomorrow. For boaters, a small craft advisory in effect. Rough conditions out there. Seas running 5 to 7 feet on Wednesday. They'll be 4 to 6 on Thursday, so tough boating conditions. High tide at 12:31 tonight. Partly cloudy, breezy and warm. Southwest winds 15 to 20, a slight chance for a passing shower. Tomorrow we'll start off with some clouds and sun in the morning and a slight chance for a few morning showers, but better chances come basically after 5 o'clock. 84 for your high. The extended forecast, morning storms on Thursday, clearing out here pretty quickly and turning cooler and nice for the weekend with highs back near average. Al will be back right after this. Stick around.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
You love your couch and want to protect it from spills, food, and scratching, shedding pets. Introducing Couch Coat, the reversible, washable quilted cover that protects your couch. Shield against spills, wow, stop stains, and dirty pet paws and sharp claws. Plus, it's reversible with 2 stylish colors. Guaranteed to fit any couch up to 92 inches or your money back. It even has covers to protect armrests. Machine washable too.
My grandkids destroy everything, but with Couch Coat, my couch is always protected, looking as good as it did the day I bought it.
Get your Couch Coat for just $19.99, and it's reversible in brown and cream, like 2 couch coats for the price of 1. Order right now, and you can double your offer. Get a second Couch Coat. Just pay a separate fee. Order right now.
Call 1-800-943-0710 to get your couch coat. Call now or go to couchcoat.com. So call 1-800-943-0710. That's 1-800-943-0710. Call now.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru is the best overall brand for 2 years running and the most trusted brand for 3 years running, according to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. Right now, you can lease one of Subaru's most versatile vehicles, the Subaru Crosstrek, for as little as $189 a month, or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Today, the air is perfect. Inside, Expect more from your cooling and heating. Daikin.
We would like you to join us now in a tradition we have at Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey in the song Old Lang Syne. So everybody sing along, please. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind?
An emotional farewell to the greatest show on earth. Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus gave its final performance on Sunday. Of course, we know the circus has deep ties to the Suncoast, and tonight we are joined by 3 of its alumnus: Globe of Death stunt performer Edwin Urias, acrobat and daredevil Olga Cernina, and the daredevil extraordinaire himself, Bello Knock. I would imagine just that scene probably knocks the 3 of you off the edge.
Sure. It does, for sure, yeah. I mean, it's just, you know, again, part of history just kind of closed its chapter right there.
You know, we were talking before the show. I mean, I first saw the circus probably early in the 1970s at Madison Square Garden. I took my kids to see the circus for the first time, I believe, in Bridgeport or New Haven. And when you mention names, the building pops into your head.
As soon as you say a town, we equate that with, oh, I know that arena, or what the shopping was, what the living was, how to get there, the parking lot, how cool it was, but we know those arenas. So when you say in the 70s, his father was the man who brought the Globe to, well, your great-grandfather
was one of the innovators of it.
And then Ringling Brothers and his father, they brought his father to America with the first Globe of Death.
And Olga, I would imagine, I mean, when did you first start performing with the circus?
I was in my 20s already, so I started from sports. And I joined the circus in '97. And then what brought me to America, and I met the Urias family, and I became a daredevil. So imagine that, and
been
just
a part of ours, yeah, our part of it.
Looking at all the pictures and programs back, and then I actually got to perform on Ringling Brothers. So that's an amazing opportunity.
You know, if I say something like New Haven, where I used to work, they had the Coliseum there, and I bet you all know it's no longer there.
That's right. That's right.
And you could go from town to town with the same kind of story.
So many cities across the U.S. I mean, not only just over, you know, around the world, but so many cities, again, just across the U.S. that at one point or another, you know, you have a vivid memory of, like Bello and Olga said, you know, the building, the parking lot,
and
certain things.
Not only for us, because the arena became home for us for that week. Almost every town, Ringling Brothers would stay in town for about 1 week. Some of the big towns, 2 or 3 weeks. New York City, 6 weeks. A concert or a sporting event might last a couple of hours, but it doesn't change the atmosphere. When the circus came to town, it made the town come alive, but it also made the people in that arena, I mean, it just changed. Hey, I mean, they'd see you every year. So it really was, you became family with, and you know, with all of the people at those arenas. So you really have a great kinship.
You know, I want to talk about, you know, what the 3 of you are going to do now. And I know that you're all associated with different circuses and companies, but the question that I guess the industry has to answer is, can it continue in terms of being a popular form of entertainment with a big chunk of what, you know, Ringling Brothers was known for in terms of the animal acts, now gone?
Yeah, well, let me tell you a quick one. I believe that Ringling was the compass or the weather vane of what other circuses followed. If they went steampunk, if they went futuristic, if they went punk rock, if they, whatever they themed their shows, the rest of the circuses around the world followed. Even if they didn't agree right away, after they saw it was a hit, they were like, hey, we got to do that, okay? So following in that same tradition, Kenneth Feld is very famous for saying, the one thing that you can always know that's coming is change. So things have to change. And if it's the touring system, if it's how people look at circus, or no matter what it is, it's got to change. If it's got to go bigger, smaller, sort of take on different demographics, go more technology, less technology, go old school, new school, whatever that is, it's got to change. But the greatest thing about it, it is called the performing arts. So art is in the eye of the beholder.
All right, what would you like to see change? What would you like to see evolve?
Well, you know, I guess we all know it. I mean, the circus has always been ever-changing. It's always been evolving. from not only from the performances, but the performers themselves, just doing new things, pushing that bar, that limit. I think wanting to see evolved is just, having the people come out really and experience it. There's so much differences. People have a certain opinion of what a circus is. Not until they don't really notice how much they're missing until they come to a show. Again, whether it's Ringling Brothers, whether it's a different circus, our performance is just, again, I mean, what Bello does, all of it in itself is ever changing, and we do change it up. They think, oh, we saw one circus and they said that circus is just all animals. It's not. There's so many incredible performers there. So it's, like you said, art's in the eye of the beholder. The beholder needs to come out and see it and enjoy it and really relish in all the incredible performances that are there. And the performers themselves.
I think people started to, in a way, take for granted, because it was there for so many years, they thought it would always be there, so they might have taken for granted that it'll always be there.
And Olga, you have a background in athletics.
Yep.
Right. And it's always been my opinion that the greatest thing about sports, and you could say the same thing with circus, is that it brings people from all walks of life together. Whether you're a Republican or a Democrat,
Yes.
you love to take your kids to the circus or to the ball
Different
game.
nationalities, different languages. We all learn, their kids learn different languages because so many performers come together and it's like a one big family.
Big melting
pot.
Yeah, it's so diverse. Yeah. It's incredible.
So what do you do now?
I ride in the Globe of Death with
She's
Uriah's family.
She is one of the very few stunt women in the world that perform inside the Globe. And, we've... Olga's been a part of our performance in our family now for over 10 years now, and it's just been, it's awesome. Yeah.
I think what you're asking is, what do performers do now that Ringling closed? But Ringling was just a major brand. It was the biggest known circus out there in America. There are still many circuses out there, some with animals, some without, some that skew in different themes. Feld Entertainment is a very big company. Yes. I'm sure they will replace, and try to find jobs for a lot of their artists and entertainers or workers and stuff like that. But a lot of the entertainers came here on a 2-year contract that might have lasted 4 or 12 or 17 years. You know what I mean? Some people went there on an initial 2-year contract and stayed for a lot of years. My parents came to America in 1954, 2 different countries. They met, had, a family. And then so many years later, I'm the youngest of 4 boys, and I got to entertain there and have a show called Bellobration. So it was really cool how it really spawned off. And now, where do we go? Well, this summer I'm going to be doing a show called Incredibello here at the Ringling Museum that's presented by Feld Entertainment and the Ringling Museum.
And sometimes what is old is new again. And I'm wondering if you all think that at some point they will resurrect Ringling Brothers, the greatest show on earth,
I guess that possibility is out there. I mean, Feld.
I think it's everyone's hope, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have that small inkling, but I mean, Feld Entertainment really for 50 years made it so huge and so fantastic. There are not, just because Ringling closed, like Bello said, it doesn't mean that the entertainment is done.
Right.
All these performers that he mentioned also too that are here will continue performing in other shows around the world.
Let's take a quick break, and when we return, we'll have final thoughts from our guests.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
Are you paying too much for your cable or satellite TV? The U.S. government passed a bill mandating free over-the-air digital transmission of all broadcast network television channels. That means with the new TV Freeway digital antenna, you can get free HD programming from your favorite broadcast networks 24/7 without a bill. You just plug it into the back of your TV and start watching all of your favorite broadcast programs for free. There are no contracts to sign, no hidden fees, and no monthly fees. Just free HD broadcast TV. Take it with you anywhere. Call or go online now to get your TV Freeway stick for the incredibly low price of only $14.99. But wait, call or click now and you can get a second TV Freeway stick for a second TV. Just pay a separate fee, but you have to order right now.
Call 1-800-809-5196 to get your TV Freeway. Call now or go to tvfreeway.com. So call 1-800-809-5196. This offer's not in any store. Call now.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
It's Lincoln's summer sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKC Sports Utility for $249 per month or 2017 MKZ for $299 per month. We are proud to introduce the newest addition to the Lincoln lineup, the all-new 2017 Lincoln Continental. We have a great selection and ready for immediate delivery. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
After 146 years, the Ringling Brothers and Barnum & Bailey Circus has come to an end, but the show, as they say, must go on. What does the future hold for the circus arts? Our guests join us right now for final thoughts. Or what would you like people to take away from this conversation?
Go out, see a circus. Just because Ringling is not going to be around doesn't mean that all circuses are gone. Go out, see an incredible live performance, see a show that's locally. Roots are going to be always here in Sarasota. Sarasota will be the epicenter for circus at all times. My roots are here, even though I came from another country. Definitely go out and see an incredible show. Enjoy it. Take your kids because it'll be memories that you'll never forget.
Olga, tell us one thing about Ringling Brothers that people may not know.
It's always been a family inside. It's been a big family, and we're always going to be connected. So the Feld family is there. They probably personally know each and every one of us. So that's incredible in itself. And it's a huge, there was 2 big shows that they were running. So.
And Bella, I would imagine that, you hear about a franchise like Barnum & Bailey, Ringling Brothers, closing up shop, and you must think that the entire corporation is in trouble. But you say that that's not the case with Feld. This is like any corporation where a product line is not working.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good way of putting it. They probably just discontinued that product line. They have a lot of other brands, I think 22, 24 other shows just in their repertoire of what they do. Monster Jams, Disney on Ice, Marvel Universe. I mean, they have some, and they do them all, and they do them all very well. And even with Ringling Brothers, they outdid themselves every year for 50 years. They took a closed brand that had problems and they brought it back.
And just quickly reassure us that Sarasota and the Suncoast will remain almost like the Harvard University.
Let me tell you,
of the circus world.
the atmosphere of circus will never go away. A lot of it because of John Ringling, the Felds, and Ringling Brothers in a whole inspired so many people. I got to tell you, even modern day, that daredevilish diverging diamond on University, just that a lot of alliteration and giving it a name was sparked by Ringling Brothers. I think it inspired many people.
Thank you all for being here
Thank
tonight.
You for having us.
We are honored.
Yeah, thank you. Please go see a circus and support
definitely.
Erin Urias is the 3rd-generation Globe of Death stunt performer. Olga Cernina is an acrobat and daredevil, and Bella Knock is, of course, the world's greatest daredevil. When we return, we have seen companies, state agencies, and countries across the world victimized by hackers. But how can you protect yourself from a cyber breach in our For Your Benefit segment? Plus, the Super Bowl is coming back to Tampa. We'll explain what led to the surprising announcement in our prime time headlines.
Just go do it. Go do it. If you're not in control, then who is? Live above the influence.
You love love your couch and want to protect it from spills, food, and scratching, shedding pets. Introducing Couch Coat, the reversible, washable quilted cover that protects your couch. Shield against spills, wow, stop stains, and dirty pet paws and sharp claws. Plus, it's reversible with 2 stylish colors. Guaranteed to fit any couch up to 92 inches or your money back. It even has covers to protect armrests. Machine washable too.
My grandkids destroy everything, but with Couch Coat, my couch is always protected, looking as good as it did the day I bought it.
Get your Couch Coat for just $19.99, and it's reversible in brown and cream, like 2 couch coats for the price of 1. Order right now, and you can double your offer. Get a second couch coat. Just pay a separate fee. Order right now.
Call 1-800-943-0710 to get your couch coat. Call now or go to couchcoat.com. So call 1-800-943-0710. That's 1-800-943-0710. Call now.
Drive into Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota and discover big savings during the Drive and Discover event. Come shop the Suncoast's largest selection of Ram trucks. Get maximum cargo space and more comfort with a new Ram Quad Cab for as low as $24,999. Or get more legroom and maximum comfort with a new Ram Crew Cab and save up to $10,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Welcome back. Hacking and cybersecurity seems to be an increasingly common topic in the news. There was a worldwide WannaCry ransomware attack, the breach of Florida's concealed weapons permit holders database, and the theft of payment account information for more than 40 million target customers. The question is, how can you protect your personal information? It's the topic of tonight's For Your Benefit segment, and joining us for more is Jerry Zivic, a government benefits consultant and consumer watchdog. Jerry, thanks for being here. This is always very, very scary to us, and the Federal Trade Commission is involved. Why don't you explain?
Well, this is a hot button for all of us. In fact, just this morning, the state of Florida, the gun owners were hacked, their whole database. The FTC has been very concerned about this. They set up a new website. It's at ftc.gov/small business. That's ftc.gov/small business. And this website is designed to help small business owners and individuals find inexpensive ways to protect themselves from data breaches and hacking.
Well, first, why don't you explain what to look for? Because we all get these emails that look like they're coming from Citibank or Bank of America or different legitimate organizations. But if you click on it, you're opening yourself up to a world of hurt.
Well, you have to not trust anything that you receive. I think every device or computer needs some good virus protection. And one of the big things that's been happening that Pam Bondi, the Attorney General of the state of Florida, is working with the FTC with is called Operation Tech Trap, where you're working on your computer and all of a sudden something pops up on your screen that says your device is at risk. You can lose your pictures, your identity theft, banking information. All you have to do is call this 800 number, and for several $100s you'll be saved.
Well, we do see that a lot. You know, you could be on your computer at home or at work, and you get those messages. Is there any simple advice that you could give people, whether if you're in that situation? Do you click on it? Do you just close your app? Do you turn off your computer?
What you should do is right after the show, you should go to the FTC website and look at what they recommend to do. But you should never call the number that's on the screen. And if you haven't gone to the website first, just don't do anything. Do not worry. You're not at that much risk. Because what these companies want to do is they want to take control of your computer. Until they get control of your computer, you're fairly safe. And what you should do is you should back up your data every day. And I don't recommend backing up your data in the cloud, because sooner or later, one day we're going to wake up and Amazon Cloud or whatever company has been hacked. You get your own backup, hook it up with a backup disk or a thumb drive, and back it up yourself, put it in your pocket every night, and you know your data is protected, and you can replace anything that's been lost.
We hear so much on the news today is about hacking and intrusions. Is this both an issue in terms of domestic hackers or from Eastern Europe or around the world. I mean, what is the Federal Trade Commission saying?
Well, your guess is as good as anybody's. Nobody knows for sure. One day you're hearing it's North Korea. The next day you're hearing it's Russia. The next day it's the little kid down the block that's doing it to you.
Or as the president says, the fat guy on the edge of the bed.
Something like that. Or it could be a thin girl. Who knows? The point is we're exposed, and almost anybody can do this. What I actually recommend is you set up a dedicated device to do all your banking and all of your sensitive data. Set up a dedicated email, and just use that device for those actions.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much. Great tips. Jerry Zivic is a government benefits consultant and consumer watchdog. He joins us every other week on your For-Your Benefit segment. Your primetime headlines are coming up right after this break.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Come on in, welcome to our pad. Trust me, folks, you're in for a ride. I'm driving, so relax. Unwind, leave your buckets all behind. Get ready to blow your mind. In Beatsville, don't be shy. Come and make the scene. Catch the crazy party inside. The hipsters here are gone. And dig, man, they're on to something big. Yeah, they're gonna flip your wig in Beatsville. Catch the gig in Beatsville.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru is the best overall brand for 2 years running and the most trusted brand for 3 years running, according to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. Right now, you can lease one of Subaru's most versatile vehicles, the Subaru Crosstrek, for as little as $189 a month, or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Now for your primetime headlines, President Donald Trump is in Rome tonight where he is set to meet with the Pope. It is part of his first foreign trip, but back at home, his first budget has been delivered to Capitol Hill. ABC's Serena Marshall is there with the strong reaction.
It's the annual tradition. The president introduces a budget, the pomp and circumstance of its arrival, and the unfettered declaration.
It's definitely dead on arrival.
The 2018 budget, titled A New Foundation for American Greatness, is supposed to be another campaign promise fulfilled.
We took the president's speeches, we took his priorities, we turned them into numbers.
Numbers that include a big boost to military spending and $1 billion to start building his promised southern border wall. While Medicare and the retirement portion of Social Security are left untouched, it does include more than $3 trillion in spending cuts over 10 years, coupled with tax cuts for the wealthy. The hope to see 3% economic growth. To get there, it guts anti-poverty and safety net programs, with an $800 billion cut to Medicaid and more than $190 billion cut from food stamps. On Capitol Hill, Democrats not hiding their disdain for the budget. Oregon Senator Ron Wyden tweeting, "This is where the Trump budget belongs." But fellow Republican leaders nearly as dismissive.
This budget, if fully implemented, would require us to retreat from the world diplomatically or put people at risk. You have a lot of Benghazis in the making if this thing became law.
Like all presidential budgets, this is a statement of priorities, with Congress ultimately working out the details. Economists pushed back on the math, claiming the budget was double dipping, that you couldn't see an increased spending and deficit reduction as a budget neutral, while also claiming those same cuts increase American spending growth. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
Former CIA Director John Brennan is testifying today on Russian interference in the 2016 election. He is accusing Russia of recruiting Americans to brazenly interfere with the U.S. presidential election. During a House Intelligence Committee hearing, Brennan says he first started worrying about the possible ties between the Trump campaign and Russia last summer. While he didn't say there was any collusion, he believes the evidence merits an investigation.
I was aware of intelligence and information about contacts between Russian officials and U.S. persons that raised concerns in my mind about whether or not those individuals were cooperating with the Russians either in a witting or unwitting fashion, and that served as the basis for the FBI investigation to determine whether such collusion cooperation occurred.
Brennan was head of the CIA until January of this year. He has not had any access to intelligence since he left his position. Director of National Intelligence Dan Coats is declining to comment on a report President Trump asked him to publicly deny evidence of cooperation between his campaign and Russia during the 2016 election. Here's what he said to the Armed Services Committee.
It's not appropriate for me to comment publicly on any of that. So on this topic, as well as other topics, I don't feel it's appropriate to characterize discussions and conversations with the president.
Multiple current and former U.S. officials are confirming Trump made the request to Coats. They also say Trump made the same request to National Security Agency Director Admiral Mike Rogers. Here in Florida, Governor Rick Scott is naming a new head of the Department of Environmental Protection. Noah Valenstein will take over as secretary in June. The former aide to Scott is currently executive director of the Suwannee River Water Management District. Environmental groups say his background in environmental law makes him a good pick.
He understands that people come to the state of Florida for our beaches, for our springs, for our national parks, our state parks, and of course the Everglades.
I think the issue is the same everywhere. All Floridians care about the environment. It's the underpinning of what makes this state such a great place to live.
Prior to winning the Water Management District, Valenstein spent nearly 3 years as Scott's policy coordinator for energy, agriculture, and the environment. The Super Bowl is coming back to Tampa after NFL owners learn a new stadium being built in Los Angeles won't be ready in time. Super Bowl 55 will be played at Raymond James Stadium in February of 2021. This will be Tampa's 5th time hosting the title game, the last one back in 2009. Construction on the new stadium in Los Angeles has been delayed by bad weather. The NFL requires new stadiums to be operational for 2 years before it could host a Super Bowl, and LA won't meet that deadline. And that's all the time we have for this evening. I'm Alan Cohn. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night.